I can hardly believe that we are already at the end of yet another month, and here we are going, okay, what went on at Koala Gardens during June? Make sure you watch all the way through, because not only is there heaps to see, but there's a special bonus coming up for you at the end of the video. The Koala Gardens channel is expanding in some exciting ways from July. If you love Koala Gardens video and want to help koalas with me and make sure I can keep making more and better quality content, there will be some great opportunities. You'll have the chance to get regular content early and access to exclusive new content every month. The opportunities will get bigger as we go too. Watch out for the release announcement with links and get more koalified than ever. There are certainly some spectacular sunrises during winter. We'll move through the video in alphabetical order, and that means we get to start with Bullet. Bullet spent a bit more of the month here than he has previously, which has been really good to see. I know that I will never tire of seeing Bullet. The way he's been moving about different parts of the property has made it a real Easter egg hunt too every day, wondering where will I see him this time. There's been some absolutely fascinating behaviour of patterns of movements from all of the koalas, but Bullet in particular, over the last month. If you come and join over on Patreon with me, then you'll get a lot more deep information about just what's been going on. I wonder if you can guess what would make marks like this on the trunk of a tree. I actually spent quite a while trying to get footage of one of these spangled drongos for you this month. Beautiful birds, deep blue and black, and the pattern at the end of the tail, it's almost like a little fish tail, always just fascinates me. And it's the beautiful little Miss Ellie. Now, she has been tricking me a bit, because when I found her nestled in this pink bloodwood, I discovered that I've probably been missing finding her quite a lot in the previous month or two, but I know where to look now. She actually tricked me a couple of times this month. This time you can see she's right up in the top of a big forest red gum. You've got to watch pretty carefully to keep track of these little grey fantails as they fly about. Now we'll just have a little look at some flower beauty from the property. Some of these you might recognise, some you might not. This is actually a native of Grevillea. It's a tiny miniature one though, so it's quite different. A month wouldn't be complete without a green tree frog. This one was hitching a ride on my recycling bin. You can see how tiny it is. It's very young. Now in my garden, this is a Brazilian spinach that I eat really often, and some beautiful parsley. I eat quite a lot of parsley too. I eat a lot of greens, in fact. These are Asian greens, which is a type of bok choy, and a variegated sage. Oh, delightful with mushrooms. And this is the Australian native warrigal greens. The king parrots are the most gorgeous pop of colour on any day, but particularly on a dull, cloudy day like this one, when I was able to snap a few photos of this lovely fellow. And what would a month at Koala Gardens be without some kookaburra activity? I don't believe I ever go a day without seeing and or at least hearing kookaburras. This is a beautiful Australian native called the lily pilly. The new growth, and you get most of that new growth in the winter, which is quite odd, is this beautiful red colour, and as the leaves mature, they turn green again. This is taken through my kitchen window, and magpies are considered to be one of the most beautiful of the songbirds in Australia. I'll really try to get some longer versions of their gorgeous song for next month. When you get a few of them singing together, it's particularly fantastic. And early in the month, I got this little view through to Queen Matilda's pouch. Doesn't really look much different to what it looked in May, so I don't know. We'll have to keep tracking her during July, but it's really hard to say what's going on with this little girl. She really should give us a bit better of a clue in, I reckon. A lot of the time, this is about as close as I could get to having a look near that belly for a view of her pouch. Regardless, she seems to be pretty relaxed and just happy hanging around at Koala Gardens, snoozing her days away. Hey, don't forget to smash that like button for me. I thought I should show one of the actual monarch butterflies because last month we saw the monarch caterpillars. Such beautiful butterflies, a real colour pop at any time of the year, but even in the middle of winter they are still flying around and breeding. I guess you can't really call what we get winter here compared to places in the world where it snows. This is another beautiful native pigeon called the bar-shouldered dove. Beautiful markings on these birds, very, very pretty. These are only a medium-sized dove, so it's not as big as the white-headed pigeons that we'll see again later. I thought you might like to have a little bit of a look at the forest red gum, which is a primary koala food tree, and at this time of year, this is the stage where the flower buds are just forming. And koalas love eating these flower buds when they're little like this. The pink bloodwood, on the other hand, actually flowers during summer, and so you can see that at this time of the year, the gum nuts are what we're seeing on this tree. Thought I was seeing things for a moment, but in actual fact, there's at least 2 snakes in the nesting box now. I think it's quite possible there's actually a mother and some young. It's quite hard to tell because each time I come along, everything's a little bit different, and I'm seeing at least 2, if not a few snakes here just now. Even in this one, it looks like some of them might be the common tree snake rather than the green one. Here's a little close-up of the head, and you can see that head is only the size of one of my fingers, and those ones are quite a bit darker. Beautiful snakes. And then, to my surprise, I came along and found, okay, one of them has molted, and there's a beautiful snake skin flapping in the breeze. And here's 2 snakes poking their heads out and watching me come by. Beautiful succulent that is growing in my backyard. And here's that white-headed pigeon, much larger bird than the other one, and there's a lot of them sitting in this tree together. I just love these little redback fairy wrens, tiny little birds that move so fast. It took me watching and watching all month to get those few shots. And here's the bonus for the end of the video, which is an image that I created from those white-headed pigeons by doing some colour work and a little bit of texture and framing it. I'd actually love to see in the comments below any requests that you might have of one of the koalas for me to use to create one of these bonus images from. That would help me, as there's so many to choose from. So, you've made it through to the end of yet another video. Would you write in the comments below, just loving June? Stay tuned, there's lots more coming up this month. Thanks for visiting Koala Gardens. Did you hit the like button? Now before you go, there's lots more great video to see, and make sure you've subscribed and hit that notification bell.